Hi, in this video I will answer a lot of your questions regarding the Moonstone Wallet and the MOONFUND tokens. What do I get from my donation? The answer is quite simple. For every BitShares you donate, you get 1.15 MOONFUND tokens to the public key you have specified. Or, alternatively, if you send in Bitcoin, we will convert on the spot the Bitcoin into the equivalent of BitShares and send you 1.15 of that amount in terms of MOONFUND tokens. This means that there's two ways to donate. The 1.15 MOONFUND tokens are going to be bought back in terms of BitShares later once the fundraiser is done and once the wallet is released. Who buys the MOONFUND tokens back? To explain this, you need to understand that with our Moonstone Wallet, once it is released, we'll have a preset number of delegates for whom all Moonstone Wallet users will vote automatically, however you can opt out. All the income coming from those delegates will be used on a daily basis to buy back the MOONFUND tokens at a 1-to-1 ratio with BitShares tokens. This means that anybody donating and taking on the risk can make their money back, can make their BitShares back, plus a 15% return. So all the income from the delegates goes straight back to you. What is the time horizon for the buyback? The time horizon is indeterminate. As long as people use the wallet and as long as not all of the MOONFUND tokens have been bought back, we will keep open orders on the internal exchange on the internal BitShares exchange. What happens with the delegates once the buyback ends, meaning once all the MOONFUND tokens have been bought back? The delegates will either be shut down or they will be reused for other projects. In either case, it's up to the BitShares holders to vote the delegates in or to vote them out. What will my BTS be used for? The BTS or Bitcoin you donate will be used for additional expenses internally, which are 100% operational. They all go to salaries. We have quite a big team over here. You can look it up on the main page of our website who's working on it. And we've been reinvesting all our margin as a company into this project so far. This also means that we need to reimburse a lot of our costs, and it will give us additional runway to really perfect the wallet and make it available to the mass consumers. Why structure the crowdfunder this way? This is a very good question. We have been thinking about how to structure any kind of crowdfunder for DAX, really. The point being, once people figured out how to do crowdfunders, token sales for DAX and for blockchains, they exploded. There are several kinds of blockchains now out there, all which have been developed through such crowdfunders. However, now it is the time to build the application layer on top of these blockchains, specifically on top of BitShares and DeFi blockchains. We need a new way of funding these projects too, and for the community to tell which projects they want to support. In order to do that, we figured that it would be best for risk-taking donors to fund these projects, but to make it possible for the community at large to de-risk themselves and only pay up through the delegate system once the project is actually functional and works. This means that the public doesn't take any risks and only takes in the final project, most likely in an open source form, and individuals can take on the risk to repay the developers. No more delegates running for positions and not doing their job. only people who actually deserve it would get the income. To what extent have you changed the crowdfunding method so far? The crowdfunding method is the same as we started out. The point was that we have had almost 1 month open discussion on the forum before the crowdfunder actually started. Several ideas have been proposed, many of which are just as good, but are probably a bit too complex to really do a crowdfunder on. So we went with this method. When will Moonstone be released? Moonstone will be released in stages, an alpha, beta, and the final version. During the crowdfunder, meaning during the next few days, you will be able to actually view the front end and see the entire UI and UX of Moonstone, test it around, and even send a real transaction on the blockchain. You will actually see what it is like to use the Moonstone Wallet. And based on that, you will also be able to make a more informed decision about how and how much to donate to the Moonstone crowdfunder. I'm a potential large donor. How can I get in touch with you? If you're a larger donor with larger BitShares holdings, you might want to contact us personally and maybe get more information. If you want to do that, you can contact us at info@moonstone.io. How do you plan to monetize Moonstone? How do you plan to actually make an income out of this in the future? This is a very good question, and we've been pondering this question over quite some time. With the BitShares ecosystem and with the BitShares internal exchange, we believe it is possible to create completely new business models. In our case, we believe that it is of interest for people in the future, in a not so distant future, to hold legal stocks and bonds from around the world. In order to do that, the gateway system, which BitShares is going to release soon, is absolutely perfect. For most of these legal stocks and bonds, you need to do identity verification for KYC and AML purposes. We intend through Moonstone to provide identity verification services and establish your identity on the blockchain so that you can, with a one-click sign up to external gateways and exchanges. This is how we intend to monetize Moonstone. Does Moonstone have VC or angel backing? No, we are completely bootstrapped and self-funded. In fact, Bitsapphire has been bootstrapped and self-funded from day one. We started just 2 people and we've grown to 17 over the course of 1 year. The crypto ecosystem is booming and projects from around the world are asking for capable developers and designers to work together with them on their projects. Therefore, we have been reinvesting our entire margin into this project. We don't intend to go to VCs or angels anytime soon. However, if you're an interested investor, get in touch with us via info@moonstone.io. How does Moonstone compare to other Bitcoin wallets and other kinds of wallets out there? Moonstone is quite unique in that our target group are people who want to hold several kinds of tokens in one interface. This is by default required for BitShares as user-issued assets, gateway assets, and different bit assets all need to be accommodated within one unique and intuitive interface. Furthermore, we intend to make it possible for Moonstone to have access to many other blockchains. The first one we start off with is going to be BitShares, then we'll add Bitcoin integration, and later we will add other kinds of DPoS-based blockchains also. So you will be able to access and use all of them from one unique interface. If the crowdfunder is not successful, how do I get my BTS? And will I get my BTS back? Very good question. Regardless of whether we reach our crowdfunding goal or not, we will release the Moonstone Wallet. The question will just be then when exactly, as we will require probably more time to reinvest more of our margin into the product. The goal is to release the Moonstone Wallet, get the delegates out there, and then repay just as planned with the same potential return rate all donors. Is Moonstone entirely web-based, or is it a desktop client or even a mobile wallet? Moonstone will start out as a web-based application where nonetheless you hold all your private keys. This means that we don't hold any of your private keys and we cannot manipulate with your money or really anything of yours because you sign all the transaction. It's all up to you. In the future, we intend to structure the wallet in such a way that both a desktop client and a mobile wallet will be closed in the pipeline. To what extent does Moonstone rely on traditional centralized servers? Moonstone is a thin client wallet, meaning a light wallet. The blockchain is stored on our server. However, once we make it open source, you can really store it on any server you want and set up your own wallet if you want to. The point being of the light wallet is that you don't need to wait for the blockchain to sync. You don't have to rescan the blockchain. You don't need to do any of that. We do that for you. However, you nonetheless are in charge of your money because you hold the private keys while we don't. This is the primary difference between, let's say, other web wallets out there of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, which hold essentially everything for you and you have to trust them. In this case, you have to trust yourself. Will I be able to migrate from my existing wallet to Moonstone? Yes, you will be able to. You just need to export your wallet and import it into the new Moonstone wallet. You will be able to access all your funds just like before. Do you intend to eventually make it possible for multiple servers to give access to the client, meaning create a setup where you don't need to trust a single server? Yes, we intend to do that in the future and it is in the pipeline. We intend to build it in an Oracle setup where you simply have to trust the majority of the oracles or the majority of the servers. Regardless of, however, whether you trust the server or not, no transaction can happen without your consent. What is the relationship between Moonstone and Peertracks? Peertracks is a for-profit entity and intends to work to use the Moonstone codebase and Moonstone for their product. This is a close-knit partnership and we are very excited about this partnership. However, we want to make Moonstone open source. This is also in the interest of Peertracks, and therefore Peertracks is also participating in this donation run. We have other more special kinds of partnership with them to ensure that their product will get out there. This run is only intended for the open source license. This is the same wallet design you showed off last year on the forums. It is a very similar wallet design. We have been working on this since summer 2014. We first started out with the wallet, seeing that there's a large need for such a wallet and for such a service, and started putting out their designs and proposals. Then slowly we started reinvesting our company's, our team's money into this, and we went through 3 different iterations of the product. Every single time we stumbled upon new technical issues, design issues, and user testing issues, as we have done a lot of user testing with potential users out there. After all, normal people from around the world who have absolutely no idea about finance, stocks, bonds, crypto, really everyday people are intended to use this product. Therefore, a lot of testing had to be done. once the wallet is out there, how often will you do the buyback on the internal exchange? We will do the buyback every single day with all the income coming from the delegates. Is Moonstone a smart wallet? If you mean by smart wallet that it is capable of executing its own scripts and doing more intelligent actions on behalf of you, then for version 1, no, it is not a smart wallet. However, we are building it in such a way that it can become a smart wallet in the not so distant future. And we absolutely intend to make this possible. Is Moonstone like a bridge between the internal decentralized exchange of BitShares and external centralized exchanges? Yes, that's absolutely the case. We absolutely intend to connect through one and the same interface both the internal decentralized exchange as well as external centralized exchanges. It will be possible to trade any tokens on any platform. That's the idea. It has to be seamless. Is the wallet going to be tailored for mobile? The design is mobile ready. However, our initial goal is to put out the web wallet. Once the web wallet is out there and functioning and running for version 1, we intend to port the existing design to a mobile wallet and mobile implementation. If you have any more questions regarding the Moonstone wallet or the MOONFUND tokens, please get in touch with us by our email questions@moonstone.io or on the forum bitsharestalk.org. Thank you.